If someone informs you that a particular individual is speaking negatively about you, do not justify what is being said, but respond by saying that he was unaware of my other shortcomings. Otherwise, he would not have focused solely on these. Only those who are educated are truly free. It is not the events that occur in your life that are significant, but rather your response to them that holds importance. We possess 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we may listen twice as much as we communicate. True wealth is not measured by the abundance of possessions, but rather by the minimalism of our desires. People are not troubled by external events, but by their perceptions of those events. First, declare to yourself who you aspire to be. Then, take the necessary actions to become that person. There exists only one path to happiness, and that is to stop worrying about matters that lie beyond our control. To enhance your personal growth, be willing to be perceived as foolish and ignorant. A person is not truly free unless he has control over himself. A wise individual does not lament what he lacks, but instead celebrates what he possesses. It is not the actual problems that trouble man, but rather his own imagined fears regarding those problems. The path to happiness is singular. It lies in relinquishing concerns over matters that are beyond our control. Surround yourself only with those who inspire you, whose presence brings out your best qualities. What truly matters is not the events that occur in your life, but your response to them. The person who can laugh at himself will always find reasons to laugh. The perspectives and challenges of others can be infectious. Avoid undermining yourself by unintentionally embracing negative and unproductive mindsets through your interactions with others. True freedom is the only goal worth pursuing in life. It is achieved by ignoring factors that are beyond our influence. Situations do not define a person. They merely unveil his true self. A person cannot truly learn if he believes he already possesses all the knowledge. It is not the events themselves that disturb individuals, but rather the interpretations they assign to those events. Blaming others for one's own misfortunes indicates a lack of education. Conversely, blaming oneself signifies the beginning of one's educational journey. Not blaming either oneself or others indicates that one's education is complete. You are a small soul, bearing a lifeless body. I find amusement in those who believe they can harm me. They are unaware of my true identity. They have no understanding of my thoughts. They cannot even reach the possessions that genuinely belong to me and that I cherish. First, grasp the significance of your words, and then express them. Align yourself with what is spiritually elevated, irrespective of others' opinions or actions. Stay true to your genuine ambitions, regardless of the circumstances surrounding you. The greater the challenge, the more honor there is in overcoming it. Skilled navigators earn their reputation through navigating storms and tempests. No individual is truly free who does not have control over themselves. A wise person does not lament what they lack, but celebrates what they possess. Do not search for goodness in external circumstances. Instead, seek it within yourselves. Avoid the temptation to appear wise in the eyes of others. Do not strive for events to unfold according to your desires, but rather wish for them to occur as they do, and everything will turn out well for you. A vessel should not depend solely on one anchor, nor should life rely on a single tool. First, understand your identity, and then enhance yourself accordingly. If you aspire to be a reader, then read. If you wish to be a writer, then write. Occurrences do not merely take place, they come by design. When asked who the wealthy individual is, Epictetus answered, "He who is satisfied." Either God intends to eliminate evil, but is unable, or he is capable but unwilling. We are not unsettled by the events that befall us, but rather by our perceptions of those events. Do you not realize that a virtuous person acts not for the sake of appearances, but to do what is right? It is preferable to perish from hunger after living free from sorrow and fear than to exist with a troubled mind in the midst of plenty. Narrow-minded individuals tend to blame others. Average individuals often blame themselves. The wise perceive all blame as a form of folly. I would prefer a shorter, more honorable life over a longer one that holds less significance. No significant achievement is accomplished in an instant. People do not fear situations, but rather their perceptions of them. If someone speaks ill of you, refrain from defending yourself against their claims. Instead, respond by saying, "You clearly are unaware of my other flaws. Otherwise, you would have brought those up as well." In the face of every misfortune that occurs, remember to reflect inward and ask what ability you possess to make it beneficial. You may restrain my leg, but even Zeus cannot conquer my free will. Challenges reveal the true nature of men. No significant achievement occurs overnight, just as a cluster of grapes or a fig does not appear instantly. If you express a wish for a fig, I will respond that time is necessary. It must first bloom, then produce fruit, and finally mature. Maintain the awareness of death, exile, and all such seemingly tragic events in your mind daily, particularly death, and you will avoid having a despondent thought or craving anything excessively. When asked how a person should inflict pain on an adversary, Epictetus replied that one should focus on living the best life possible. What troubles me is not the actual state of affairs, but rather how individuals perceive those affairs. Do not adhere strictly to your own principles, but instead strive to live in accordance with nature. The core principle of philosophy is that an individual should live in such a way that their happiness relies as little as possible on external factors. Envision a character, a role model, whose example you aspire to emulate, both in private and in public. Anyone who intends to engage with philosophers must have significant experience in listening. If you wish to overcome anger, do not nurture it. Remind yourself, I used to feel angry every day, then every other day, and now only every third or fourth day. Once you reach 30 days, make a gesture of gratitude to the gods. If you seek improvement, be willing to be perceived as foolish and ignorant concerning external matters. Do not desire to be seen as knowledgeable, and even if you seem important to others, maintain a sense of skepticism about yourself. It is challenging to maintain your decision-making ability in a way that aligns with nature while simultaneously pursuing external possessions. However, while you focus on one aspect, you inevitably overlook the other. Anyone who has the ability to provoke your anger holds power over you. You can only be angered by them if you allow yourself to be unsettled. If someone informs you that another person is speaking poorly of you, do not justify their comments, but rather respond that they were unaware of my other shortcomings. Otherwise, they would not have singled out these particular issues. Only those who are educated experience true freedom. It is not the events that occur in your life that are significant, but rather your response to those events that truly counts. We possess 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we may listen twice as much as we communicate. True wealth is not measured by the abundance of possessions, but rather by the quality of what one owns. People are not troubled by external events, but by their perceptions of those events. First, determine what you aspire to be, and then take the necessary actions to achieve it. There is a singular path to happiness, and that is to stop worrying about matters that are beyond our control. If you wish to grow, be willing to be perceived as foolish and ignorant. No individual is truly free unless he is in command of himself. A wise person does not lament what he lacks, but instead celebrates what he possesses.